Hello, Snakes. My name is Dante, and today it's Podcast Tuesday, and this time we are going to be going into Riftbound as well. So, not only are we talking about magic, but we're talking about Riftbound, and this time it's 10 mechanics from Riftbound that are inspired by Magic the Gathering. So, in case you don't know, Riftbound is a trading card game that came out in China came out like last year, like in June, and worldwide came out in October. So basically, the game, it is a trading card game, but it has very different rules to Magic. And players, instead of going for life totals, you're going for battlefields, and you basically have to hold points. Kind of like domination in Call of Duty and even Shinobi Striker as well. That was also a really cool one. But basically, you know, it has like specific units and spells and gear, and basically some mechanics are very similar to that of Magic. And of course, they keep on adding new mechanics in each set. We currently have 4 sets for Riftbound, and now I think we've gathered enough mechanics to basically break it down. So we're gonna go into our number 10, and we got Flashback, which has made its newest appearance in Vendetta as the mechanic Flow. So Flow is a new cost where basically you can play it from your trash for its flow cost, then banish it. So trash is basically the graveyard in Riftbound, and banishing is just the exile zone, um, which is also called banish zone, just like in Yu-Gi-Oh. So yeah, and well, past flashback is the magic the gathering mechanic where it lets you cast a spell from your graveyard for the flashback cost and exile it. So this is so flow and flashback are basically the same because you just play it and then boom, vanish. So or exile. So yeah, that's literally the same mechanic. So yeah, just we've got a few. Of course, flow is only seen on spell cards, similar to our flashback. So far, it's only seen on instants and sorceries. I don't believe we got flashback on non on any permanent cards. Because the thing is that you cast it and it just gets exiled. So unless if the creature has a cast trigger, then there's no point in flashbacking the creature. So that's basically the thing about flow and flashback. So yeah, new mechanic in Riftbound, making a reference to a classic mechanic in Magic that was featured. I think it was Tempest Block when it first became a thing, which then made its return in what was it? Time Spiral in Innistrad, and then made its and consistently became a mechanic, in Magic. No longer tied to a specific set or block or plane in general. So yeah, and flow is the just got introduced in Vendetta, so we should be getting more anytime soon. So yeah, that's basically flashback and flow. Let's go into our number 9, and we got so this is burn. Burn is a new keyword that's been added to Vendetta, and basically it's the same as milling. So in Magic, that's milling was actually fairly new, like as a word mechanic. The word mill has actually been taken, it was coined in 2020 as an official mechanic, but in the past was just a fan made term, based on the card Millstone, which makes anyone mill 2 cards. So, and basically, milling is to send cards on top of your library into your graveyard in Magic, which in Riftbound translates to burn, which is to put the top card of your main deck to your trash. That's basically, um, burn and mill. So, yeah. I think mill has been referenced in Plants vs Zombies Heroes. I may be wrong though, but I do remember bounce. Like was actually used in Plants vs Zombies Heroes. Like if you return a creature to its owner's hand, like Magic still hasn't really coined the term, but the fan made term is bouncing, which has not been referenced in any other trading card game. Only referenced in freaking Plants vs Zombies Heroes, which is a legendary game, and I generally was not expecting that reference when I was playing it. I was like, oh my god, they actually called it bounce. Yeah, and then of course, well, Magic did end up using the term mill. I mean, there's still some terms that have not been coined yet. I mean, ingest is still stuck as just a keyword, not a term for exiling cards from the top of your library. Blink and flicker, they basically they have not been coined yet, and also they are kind of used interchangeably. Some people can't agree on to use blink or flicker, because I'm pretty sure blink is when it just exiles and comes back straight away, and flicker is when it exiles and comes back end of turn. That's the main difference, I think, between the two. So yeah, so burn is got introduced in Vendetta, and it's basically a reference to mill. So let's go into number 8, and we got Empower. It might be quite a stretch, but Empower, I am pretty sure, is based on Monstrosity, because Magic still has had multiple similarities. Like you got Monstrosity, Renowned. I mean, Renowned is not an activated; it's a triggered ability, but they have used Empower in this game in the form of triggers, not just activated abilities. So you could blend Empower with Monstrosity and Renown, but it's not the same as Power Up or Exhaust, which are one-time abilities. Because in this game you can disempower creatures, which in Magic you can't unmonstrosity a creature, you can't unrenown a creature, but but Riftbound you can disempower units. So yeah, as you can see, look, Punching Portal has a disempower ability, so you discard a card and it becomes empowered, and it basically gets +1 when it's empowered. So Hundred-Handed One, for example, would be another one. I mean, some not just have +1, but get other abilities. Hundred-Handed One, for example, I mean, you got Monstrosity. You pay the mana, gets extra counters, and then boom, gains the ability to block an extra 99 creatures and has reach. So yeah. What I'm kind of interested is that I think they discontinued cards that let you block more than one creature in combat. Like I've not seen a single card that does this um since what I mean new cards. I've last time I think it was Tarkir, when they stopped reprinting them and I don't know in Conspiracy. Let me just see block additional creature. I don't remember oh no wait um Our Devastation featured active heroism that lets you block an extra creature and +2/+2 on target creature and untap it. So no, not Akawadi, no, or Nerd's guys. Oh, Nerd's Swarm Snapper was one among the first ones. You could pay 2 mana to have it block an extra creature this turn, and you could stack it as well. It's cool. Not Ansdrag. Huh. No, not Wait, what? When did why is Azusa's many journeys and likeness of a seeker in this? It doesn't even say creature at all on the card. Yeah, Brave the Sands, that's your creature's vigilance and lets lets them block an additional creature. Yeah. So no, not camouflage. Huh. All right. What we got? Oh yeah, sense tactician. They let entourage of trust. Oh yeah, that was like yeah. Um, conspiracy too. Yeah. Which is a mon. If you're the monarch, you can get a block an extra creature. Yeah. Echo circlet. All right. No. Oh, coastline chimera can also block extra creatures if you just stack mana. Ooh, Frisian brigade that can block 2 creatures this combat. So yeah. Oh yeah. Frisian interceptor. So hmm. And Frisian totem. What? Oh, Gaspark twins. I think that's the last one. Because it came out for M19, which is 2018. Alright. High ground, that's funny. Under 10 and 1, yeah, I can block this turn. Yeah, oh, Knight of Sorrows and Ravnica Legions, yeah. That one came before no, that one came after M19. So that's like the the last one probably, I think. No, Illusioners. Iona's Blessing. Uh no. No, that's 2016. Kimba's Legion, huh? And Lair Watch Giant, yeah, that's an old one. No. Cause oh yeah, Mounted Archers. And it's 1 mana. So you can stack Luminous Guardian as well. Night Market Guard, I'm pretty sure that this one is originally in I mean it's Bowbond is 2018, so no. So then you stack it to no. Spiketail Ceratops, okay, it blocks an extra. Tangle Claw Werewolf can block an extra. Nope. And no. That is insane. They discontinued it in freaking 2019. The last time a, a card could block extra creatures was Knight of Sorrows. That is actually insane. Why did they stop doing this? I genuinely don't know. But yeah. Let's just go into the number 7. And we got so this new set of data introduced unit gears, which are both units and gears. Obviously, this is a nod to artifact creatures, possibly even enchantment creatures in Magic the Gathering. You know? So, basically, unit gears would enter exhausted just like normal units, because gears do not enter exhausted. Similar to how in Magic, artifacts do not have summoning sickness, but creatures do. So, yeah. And, yeah. So this is the first ever like unit gear in Riftbound, and in the future probably they will start making more unit gears. Like mechs may get errata to unit gears. I don't know, but they introduced it in Vendetta. And Pale Automaton, that's just the other example of an artifact creature. Artifact creatures have actually been around in Magic since Alpha. As a matter of fact, to summon creatures, in Magic, we had summon creatures, you know, which were referred to as summon and then the card type, and then artifact creatures were just referred to as artifact creature. And sometimes if they want to add an extra typing, they would just put in. Legendary creatures were just summon legend. Because I think back then, the creatures only had like one card type. Like one creature type, I mean. So, just like in Yu-Gi-Oh, the monsters only have like one attribute, right? One type, like fiend or dragon, or and also Yu-Gi-Oh has a more narrowed down um type listing, because I think soldiers, warriors, knights, paladins, everything they just fall under warriors. wizards, warlocks, spell spell shapers, and just they're all whatever they're all just narrowed down as sorcerers. They're narrowed down as spellcasters. And yeah, I mean, there's no humans in Yu-Gi-Oh. You got beasts, winged beast as well was the thing for some reason. Dragons, machines. Yeah, I think Drake was one as well, right? Drake was a like was a type. I may be wrong, but yeah. So yeah, that's basically. But then eventually Magic, evolved. They put more types on creatures. They allowed artifact creatures to have creature types as well. But yeah, let's just go in to the number sits, and we got this one's an OG one, which is reaction and action. So they're probably both based on the flash mechanic from Magic, and also quick play spells from Yu-Gi-Oh as well. But reaction lets you play it at any time. Actions only let you play them during your turn or during combat. So it's a selective flash mechanic that can only be done on your turn or in response to an attack or something, during combat. So, yeah. So reaction is basically flash. I mean, flash in Magic lets you cast the spell anytime you could cast an instant. So basically instant speed. And yeah, that's basically so yeah. So reaction is seen on all types of Riftbound cards, not just spells, but also units and gears. And as a matter of fact, some gears, they have like quick draw, which is a strictly better version of reaction that lets you like it's not just action and reaction. There's quick draw that basically counts as reaction, and you can equip it right away. But also there's ambush, which lets you play the unit on a battlefield during combat, as a reaction, as an action, whatever. So basically, it's an action in a sense, but yeah. So, but it's basically worse than. Well, no, I wouldn't say worse than reaction, because you can do a reaction unit onto a battlefield you control, but you cannot do a reaction unit onto a battlefield that you're attacking. But you can ambush onto one that you're attacking. That is a thing you can do. So yeah, that's basically flash and reaction. Let's go into number 5, and we got. So this is the XP marker. Now maybe it's a bit too far-fetched to say the XP in Riftbound is directly inspired by XP in Magic, because it is technically just like the an XP system, and it's been introduced and unleashed. So XP is a tracker where you basically track your experience points. In Magic, you also get experience points. With certain cards, but it is a rarely used mechanic. Featured only in Commander decks. Like I mean, it was first introduced in Commander 2015, as a matter of fact, but there hasn't been any other experience trackers. Ever since. Like I mean, no, there were actually, my bad, but it's rare. Like experience is one like it's a very rare it's a very rare mechanic. So actually, the Avatar Commander decks featured XP counters. So Ang um gives you XP 1 every time one of your creatures leave the battlefield without dying. Of course, you got Kratos and Atreus that can give you XP and work with it. Aslask from the MH3 Commander decks tracks XP. So every time one of your colorless creatures dies, get XP. Azula from the Avatar Commander decks Also, gives you XP for each player that discarded a card this turn, because you can discard a card every time she attacks and just do the thing. Zuri gets you an XP. I mean, yeah, no, it's Zuri, Kalemne, Datsos, Meren, and someone else. What was? Oh, Mizits. They give you XP, and they were from the Commander 2015 decks. Katara is another one from the Avatar Commander decks that gives you XP every time you cast a spell on an opponent's turn. Oh, and Commander 2020 actually featured some XP cards like Calcian Plague. That's a Ikoria commander, and also Commander 2000. So, uh, all will be one commander featured Ofari that gives you XP counters. And of course, Avatar Airbending, you got Toph and Zuko, and well, also Commander Legends Baldur's Gate has Minfara that gives you SP, but it's freaking uncommon, which is quite rare. Which is strange. I don't know, but yeah, huh. But yeah, the latest card that they have used SP counters for Avatar Commander decks. That's the last time we've seen it, but we may it may see a return. I don't know. Surprised it didn't receive a surprised none of the Final Fantasy or Fallout commanders gave you XP. That's because they're based on games, which is strange. I mean, yeah, Destiny. I don't know. I don't know what, but yeah. Let's just go into the next one. That was number 4, and we got let's talk about Deflect, which may be inspired by the Ward mechanic. So Ward is fairly new, but basically it's a cost where basically the spell ability would get countered if the opponent targets it with a spell ability. It gets countered unless they pay the cost. Now Riftbound has featured a Deflect mechanic where the opponents have to pay an extra uh, rune to where the opponent has to recycle a rune to choose it with a spell or ability. And it even stacks as well, so you can get deflect 2, deflect 3. So basically, uh, so yeah, uh, deflect is possibly inspired by ward. Doesn't specifically counter; it just adds to the cost. Some cards in Magic did have stuff like that where it would take an extra cost to target it. So yeah, so deflect may be inspired by the ward mechanic, and it was featured in original Riftbound. So yeah, it's among the earliest mechanics in Riftbound. Let's just go in to the number 3, and we got let's talk about Vision, another mechanic featured in original Riftbound, which is quite possibly based on scrying. So Vision is actually seen on cards. So you basically, when you play the card, you can look at the top. But of course, there are some moments where it tells you to Vision. And also Vision adds amount of cards. So basically, you so Vision is basically the same as Scry, because you look at the top card of your main deck and you may recycle it, which is the same as looking at the top card of your library, you may put it on the bottom. That's basically scrying and Magic. I mean, recycling basically means to send something to the bottom of your library. For those who don't play Riftbound, that's basically the meaning of recycle. So Riftbound actually established like more like so rift recycling is to send to the bottom. I mean, burn is to mill or send from the top to the graveyard or trash pile. So banishes to exile, yeah, whatever. Yeah, banishing zone, exile zone. Uh, and yeah, there were some like some others that are like more established. And yeah, there was also hunt that gives you XP, but yeah, Magic doesn't specifically have a keyword to give you XP. So yeah, so basically, vision is the scribe. We still don't have a surveil mechanic in Riftbound. Maybe they will. I don't know how they'll introduce it. If they're gonna, what if it's vision? Maybe like foretell. I don't know. And then, or they would word it as a look at the top card of your main deck, and you may trash it if you want to. I mean, maybe that's how they word it. I don't know if they're not gonna make a, but they will probably make a term for it. So yeah. And another one was Fate Seal. Fate Seal still is, it's just a discontinued magic mechanic. But basically it's the reverse grind, where you look at the top card of the opponent's deck instead of yours. And you may send it to the bottom of the library. So but Riftbound does not have that either. So it is quite unlikely Riftbound gets its own version of Fate Steel, considering it is technically a discontinued magic mechanic. Let's go to our number 2. And we got equipment. They have been introduced in Spirit Forge. They're basically a type of gear that you can attach it to a unit. And it gives a specific ability, extra might. And it's the same as, the equipments in Magic, where they are artifacts, and you can equip it to one of your creatures. And so far, equipping has only been featured as a sorcery speed mechanic. I don't believe we have any reaction or action equips yet. Similar to how in Magic, equipping in general has been just sorcery speed. I don't think there is a, like, I mean, there are cards that let you equip at instant speed, but there isn't a card that specifically lets can be equipped at instant speed. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, equip. It's basically the same mechanic, really, and they're both the same type of card. So it is safe to say that the equipment in Riftbound is inspired by both Magic the Gathering equipments alongside equip spells and equip traps in Yu-Gi-Oh as well. So it's a little bit of both. So yeah, that's basically equipment. Let's go into the last mechanic inspired by Magic. So we got let's talk about repeat. So repeat doesn't exactly work the same way as in Magic, because replicate lets you copy it any number of times if you can pay for it. But repeat lets you only copy it once. So that's the biggest issue regarding repeats in Riftbound. I cannot exactly say it is based on Magic the Gathering's replication mechanic. Can be inspired, but I don't know. It is. They are very similar, because I don't believe there's anything like in Magic that lets you like copy it once on the stack. Like, I mean, if you cast it, but I mean, but basically, Riftbound lets you replicate it, once with the repeat mechanic, and so far it's only been seen on on spell cards. Same with how replicate has only been seen on instants of sorceries. But I'm pretty sure replicate is kind of discontinued. Like, I don't believe I've seen any new card of replicate. I mean, it's like it came out in original Ravnica as an Izzet mechanic. So no, replicate has actually been featured in Secret Strixhaven Commanders, changing loyalty. Oh yeah, Consigned Memory has replicate. I forgot about that card. Digital Illuminatus could give your instant sorceries replicate. Oh, Exterminate has replicate. That is actually funny. Oh, no way! There is a creature with replicate. As a matter of fact, Hatchery Sliver has replicate, and gives your sliver spells replicate. You get drowse. Oh, what? Ian Chesterton from the Doctor Who Commander decks gives your sagas replicate. What? Oh my god. Oh yeah, Mists of Lorien has replicate from the Lord of the Rings Commander decks. Yeah. Lose Focus, MH2 has replicate, yeah. And yeah, I mean, of course, Psionic Ritual from Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. Reiterating Bolt from MH3. Replicating Ring does not have replicate. It's it's funny how they put it there. Oh, Stream of Thought in the original Modern Horizons, huh? That's interesting. Oh, Super Combo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Commander. And Free Float Signal gives your free card spells replicate for free mana. Wow. Not just instant sorcery. So yeah. Yeah. So this is very different to Magic. Because Magic initially had replicate as an instant sorcery spell mechanic in Izzet. And now became a universal mechanic that's been featured in every single color, right? I mean, except for no, Ian Chesterton white, Hatchery Sliver green, Exterminate and Chaining Loyalty are black. Oh, Super Combo green as well, yeah. And then the rest is just red and blue. So, yeah. And now we're gonna go into the combo and our bonus section. So we got. So, reiterate, Thieving Song, and Memory Crystal. So buybacks cost 2 less. And what you can do, so you cast Thieving Song, you have it on stack. Copy it with Reiterate and pay the buyback cost. So that's 4 mana. You copy Thieving Song, that gives you 5 mana. Then you cast Reiterate again, paying the buyback cost. That's 4 mana. You have 1 mana left over. Copy Thieving Song. Then you get 5 more mana, and then you get infinite mana, basically. Because buyback lets you put the spell into the hand after it resolves instead of the graveyard. So it's a really powerful mechanic. And Reiterate you just do a bunch of copies. And it's just in Memory Crystal, reducing the cost of buyback is just insane. So yeah. Infinite mana, infinite storm. So yeah. And now we're just gonna not really go into the but we're gonna talk about a Riftbound mechanic that actually is inspired mainly by Yu-Gi-Oh, but also partly by Magic. Let's see. Look, the reason why I decided to not include this in the main podcast was because this was mainly inspired by Yu-Gi-Oh, not Magic. As a matter of fact, the Morph mechanic was inspired by Yu-Gi-Oh's trap card mechanic. So, hidden cards can be put face down on one of your battlefields for by recycling a rune, which then you can reactive later for free. And and basically it changes the card from a normal or whatever discards an action. It will change it to a reaction, so you can do it on any time. So trap cards, you could put them face down, and then you could do the effect starting next turn, and basically could be done at any time the ability can be fulfilled. For example, Mirror Force would let you destroy your opponent's attack position monsters when an opponent monsters declare an attack. So, Hidden Blade. Morph and Magic. You put the face down creature for free mana, and then you can turn face up for the mana cost. And the face down creature is a 2/2 creature. Also, Magic and Riftbound. No, Yu-Gi-Oh! Not only could you set spells and traps face down, but you could also set monsters face down. And there were some that are flip monsters that do specific effects when they were flipped. And you set them face down in defense version. They don't have stats until they are attacked or interacted with, and then you just flip it face up. So I do personally believe that the hidden mechanic is probably inspired by Yu-Gi-Oh's spells and trap cards. As a matter of fact, every time I use the hidden mechanic in Riftbound, I say I set a card face down, because yeah, that's literally what you do. I mean, and yeah, hidden is not only seen in spells, but it's also seen in gears and units. So, whilst for Yu-Gi-Oh, I mean, you can set monsters face down, but you can also set traps and spell cards. But you can only react with trap cards or quick play spells. Which quick play spells you can still play them from the hand at like instant speed. And of course, traps, and they have different types of traps. You got regular traps, counter traps, equipped traps, continuous traps. I don't think there are field traps, right? I don't know. I've not checked if there's a field trap, but yeah. I mean, and then of course spells. You got normal spells, continuous spells, field spells, equipped spells, and quick play spells. Yeah. Congratulations. You've reached the end of the podcast. So why don't you like and subscribe and follow me on Twitter, share friends, stay tuned to next video streams and podcasts. Podcasts will be live. Well, next podcast won't be live, but I mean in general they will be live every Tuesday. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye.